guys, it's Miss Ainsley. Today we're going to make some Sesame Street puppets using just a simple paper towel roll or toilet paper roll, whatever you have in your house. So we're going to make Elmo, our favorite furry monster, and his buddy Cookie. You can choose to do both of these, or you can just pick one. It's all up to you. What you'll need for this activity is either 1 or 2 paper towel or toilet paper rolls, depending on how many puppets you're going to make. Your faces for your puppets, which were sent to you, and I colored mine in already. That's something that you can choose to do in your own time before you do this craft. You can use crayons or markers or colored pencils or even dot markers, whatever you feel like coloring with. Or you don't have to color them at all, your choice. If you're doing Elmo, you're going to need some red construction paper. And if you're doing Cookie Monster, you'll need some blue and some brown paper. You will also need a glue stick, tape, scissors, and a Sharpie or a marker. So I think I'm going to start with Elmo today, since we love him so much. What I'm going to do is take one of my paper towel rolls and wrap the paper around. So it's going to be like this, and I'm going to put glue on my paper so that when I wrap it around, it sticks to my roll. Using a glue stick is easier for this activity than using school glue, because school glue takes a lot longer to dry, and then you would need to wait a longer time while making your puppet. Okay, so now that I have glued my paper, I am going to take it and just wrap it around my tube. So I wrapped my paper around my paper towel roll, and I am going to add 2 little pieces of tape just to make sure it stays on, because glue is sometimes funky and doesn't always want to stay. So there we go, added 2 pieces of tape, and now I have Elmo's body. So the next thing that I want to do is tape on his head, and that's going to go up the top of my roll right here. So I'm going to make a little, I call them tape donuts, a little roll, circle out of tape like that. Put it on the back of Elmo's head and then stick it where I want it for his head to go. There we go. And now Elmo has a face, and he can say, "Hello everybody, it's Elmo." There are some of you nurses that do the voice a lot better than I do, and kudos to you, because they love it when you do that. The kiddos love it. So now Elmo has a body and a head, but he doesn't have arms or feet. So we have to make those, right? I'm going to draw Elmo a pair of arms first. I'm going to make his hands. Okay, so now Elmo has his pair of arms, and I'm going to tape them onto his body. I'm doing it so that the marker doesn't show on the front. I'm going to take his arm and tape it to the back of his body so that from the front you can't see the tape and you just see him waving at you. Hello! And we're going to do the same thing with the other arm. Okay, so now Elmo has both of his arms, and it's time to make his feet. A little trick is to fold a piece of paper in half, draw one foot or one arm and then cut it out and you'll magically have two. So I'm going to draw Elmo's foot. Just going to make a simple foot shape like that. Right, and now Elmo has his feet. So these we're going to tape to the inside of the tube so that they just stick out from the bottom. We're going to fold this little piece up so that it creates a space to tape it inside the tube, so that when I do that, his foot will stick out like that, flat. There's one foot done, stuck on the inside, and he can stand up while he waits for his other foot. I'm going to round that out a little bit more. There we go. Same thing, fold the edge down, take your piece of tape, stick it so that the sticky side is facing towards you, and then stick it on the inside of the tube. There we go. And I gave it another little fold so that it sticks out and he can stand. And there you have your puppet Elmo. He can walk around and wave hello and talk to you in his little voice. All right, and now he needs a friend. So we're going to make Cookie Monster. We need our second tube or towel roll, whatever you want to call it. And we are going to wrap this one in blue paper that matches Cookie Monster's fur. So same thing, I'm going to glue my paper, wrap it around, cut the extra off, and then secure it with some tape as extra protection. So I'm going to cut the rest off there. It on. If you didn't feel like using glue, or you didn't have any glue at your house, this would be also fine with just some tape. It'll hold. Now it's time for Cookie Monster's face. He says, C is for cookie. Same process. You're going to make a little donut with your tape. Stick it on the back of Cookie Monster's head and put his head where you want it. There we go. Now Cookie Monster has a face. And now we have to make his arms and legs. So we're going to use the same trick and fold our paper in half so that we magically get two identical arms and legs. First I'm going to make his arms. And Cookie Monster's arms look a little different than Elmo's. He has arms that have little claws or triangular shaped fingers at the end of them, like that. And his feet kind of look the same. So I'm going to draw the same foot, the same shape twice. Okay, so I pre-cut Cookie Monster's arms and feet, He's got all of them now. And it's time to tape them on. So same thing we did with Elmo. We don't want the marker showing, so we're going to flip it to the other side and tape it to the back so we don't see the tape either. We can just see Cookie Monster waving at us. All right, and I'm taping this with the tape vertically. And the other arm. Perfect. Now it's time for his feet. And if you didn't like the placement of your arms, you can always move them up and down. Tape is pretty easy to get on and off. It might rip the paper a little bit, but that's okay. We are going to fold a little part of his foot so that it can be taped inside like Elmo's. Again, you want the sticky side facing towards you. All right, so this is what our tape looks like for this one. And I'm gonna stick that to the inside. And then fold his foot up again so that it sticks out and he can stand up. And I made his feet a little bit big. They're a little bit wide, and that's okay. Yours should look the way that you want it to. They're all going to look a little different. Now I'm taping the other foot. I have my tape vertical and the sticky side is facing towards me. And I'm going to tape his other foot inside. All right, and now Cookie Monster has his feet taped. So we have him, but he's missing something. Something that makes him Cookie Monster. What do you think? I think he needs a cookie. So here's where your brown paper comes in. And you know what? You could always make a cookie for Elmo too. Maybe he wants one. I'm going to just make one for Cookie Monster. So I'm going to draw a circle on my brown piece of paper, and I'm making a big cookie because Cookie Monster is always hungry. And I'm just going to draw some black dots with my Sharpie to make it look like a chocolate chip cookie. All right, and we're going to cut that out. This makes me think of baking and my favorite types of cookies. I wonder what your favorite types of cookies are. I like chocolate chip and peanut butter. All right. And for this, I don't really mind if my lines are showing, but if you really did, you could draw your chocolate chips on the other side. That's fine. And we're going to tape that to Cookie Monster's hand the same way that we taped his head on. So make your little tape donut, stick it to your cookie, and then give your cookie to Cookie Monster so he can hold it. And he says, "Om nom 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 nom," and he can eat the cookie. All right, guys. So now you have an Elmo puppet and, or, depending on how many puppets you chose to make, your Cookie Monster puppet. And you can make them talk to each other and play together, and they can do whatever you want. It's your imagination, your craft. All right, guys, hope you had some fun, and I will see you next time.